So hi guys, my name's Philip English and I am a robotics enthusiast reporting on the latest business and applications of robotics and automation. My mission is to get you robot optimized and to support industry innovation and infrastructure. So we've got Laurent on the call today, and we're going to have a chat with Laurent just to get a good understanding of his company. And then, yeah, as always, if you have any questions, then please feel free to come back to me. So probably, yeah, going straight over to you, Laurent, like, could you give us sort of like a quick intro of like your company and the software that you guys do?
Yeah, sure. So thank you for this interview, and hello everyone. So I'm Laurent Ravagli from the IRAI company. So we create software for the education in the industry since 1988. And this last year, we developed a software called Miranda. So this is a software to simulate robots for the education. So there's a lot of robots that we can simulate. Pretty much everything that's popular, it's already in the software, like MBOT and etc. Or Lego, etc. So you can create challenges and make your students do these challenges and create a challenge yourself and see their progress, etc.
Right, I see. So the company's been around since 1998, did you say, or 98?
88, yeah. So
88. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, basically for the start, so there wasn't robotics at this point like this. It was mostly with PLC. So we were more in this field of for the education. So this is maybe some of your viewers know about this, but this was a software called Optimised, still existing. I'll say was, but it's still existing. Basically, it's a good software. It was to program inside with this software all the type of PLC you want. So you don't have to learn every time a new software to learn a PLC. So it's really popular in France. Not in the world, it's still selling. In France, not so much because we had pretty much the whole market for us. So a lot of the schools they have this product, yeah. And so after that we developed some more. So another software that's more on the schematics, so electrical, hydraulical, etc. And after that, like 10 years ago, I think, we push us to the industry more with virtual commissioning software. So for virtual reality, augmented reality, also still working with PLC because it was a software that you can connect to the PLC. So it's really creating a digital twin of the machine you're trying to create. And so basically, so this last year in France and the world, we saw that PLC doesn't get any much more the schools. So you know they're switching to Scratch early on, Python, etc. So we decided to build the product for this, and as we had some previously made simulator before Miranda, so specific to some robots, the MBOT, the Telo drone, the Rocky, and we had a lot of feedback that we didn't expect it. And so we decided to create this Miranda and to give all the tools that we took from the old products to implement them to this software. So this is a software so that we developed for 10 plus children. Okay. So really a start programmation with Scratch. But what's also good is that we can do Scratch and Python. So they can continue to use the same software all the years and see a different type of programming. And of course, the teacher can also make the whole changes. So there's no really limits for the software. So we are trying to build a community. So they are sharing all their challenges, etc. So we're really trying to give all the tools for our teachers and basically, yeah, we sell to schools, but we are trying also to sell to households. Right now, we are trying to see if it's something that can be useful, because children. Today we buy some robots for our children, so maybe that's something that we are trying to dig in.
Yeah, I mean, so that's really interesting. I mean, just going back to the history there. So obviously, I was doing a bit of research, and actually, it sounds like I didn't realize that you guys had been around and you've been doing the PLC work and everything else, and then you merged into this like type of technology. I was almost going to say, oh look, you should have some of that stuff like on your website, because it shows a real sort of wealth and authority that you have there. So people will say, oh look, they've come from this background and now now they've moved to this. So yeah, no, that's really interesting to know. So you've got skills from the past, you've done it in the past, you've done it with PLCs, and this is just a natural progression. So you've got the experience. So that's really, really interesting to know, actually. I mean, I suppose, so from a problem solving point of view, so what would you say is the main problems that you're solving?
For right now, with the COVID situation, of course, it's giving the tools to the students to be able to code, to learn the code that they don't have to, they can access to the real robots, and the teacher don't want to make the course on the coding is that they don't have the robots. So giving the tools on that is the main purpose, and also as a cost-effective solution, because as a classroom, you don't have the number of robots you need for all the students. So you have a simulation of the robots. You even don't have to have the robots. So also some robot manufacturer are coming for us for that. Yeah. So they say, well, they're selling the software, but they don't buy any more hardware from us. So some of them are actually adapting to this and contacting us directly to build something with us, or they are trying to get some money from it. So yeah, so you're always trying to give tools, for the teacher, for the also in the industry, for other products. It's also always giving something that can help the industry or the education to be more effective in the industry. For example, with our virtual commissioning software, it's more on you don't have to build a prototype. You can import 3D of the machine, and you can connect to the PLC, so you can start working on the PLC. You don't have to build the prototype. You can present the machine with a working system, and you can see early on what will be the problems. So it's time effective and also money effective.
I see. So you got, so it sounds like you got two different areas there. So obviously, like for education, if teachers or parents or kids haven't got the hardware, then they can use your software to practice their coding skills without actually having the hardware there. But then also in the corporate world, for people that want to test out their ideas on a more like commercial basis, then they can use your software. So you're essentially saving them costs, and saving them money, to do testing. I mean, I was having a read, so I can see that you already interact with a mixture of robots. So could you do a robot that someone built? So like if I built my own robot out of bits and pieces, what would there be something, I suppose, software-wise that I would need to install to connect to your system? Is that how it would work? Or
so you can basically in Miranda we have three main parts. So you have one who can just play the already built-in challenges, one where you can create your own, and the last part is when you can create or modify the robots. So all the built-in robots, you can add sensor, add a clamp, for example, but you can also create your own from scratch, not another programming side now. So you have basically a library with elements you can add. So chassis, you can add the wheels, servo motors, etc., LEDs, all your sensors. So we can add that to make your base. That's what I do also for. I didn't explain my role in the company, but I'm a simulation developer manager. So for all the products we developed internally, we sometimes have clients that ask they don't have time or the resources, so they ask us to make something for them inside the software. So basically, that's my role in the company. So as of Miranda, I basically like right now also I'm on a project like this. I incorporate robots from our reseller directly in the software. So this is how I do, and how the teacher or the parents can do themselves. So you create a base of your robots, and after that you can mask elements you don't want to see. For example, the cube that serves as a chassis, and you can import a 3D that will have a skin. It will act as a skin for the robot. So basically, you have already all the function inside the software, so the actuator, sensor. Yeah, and you put them on the base, and you put a skin on this. You can also do the other way around. You can import your 3D and build all around it. That's all this is possible. But we don't limit this system. Don't limit it to robots. You can import a 3D, for example, of a tree. And that tree, you can use it after to build your scene. So you can import really what you want. You don't have to build robots. For example, now I'm building something with a gate, parking gate.
Okay.
So this is a system that the reseller we are working with is trying to implement. That's a system that works with Arduino card that you can program from Miranda.
Right, I see. And then, so I was having to read about the software is in the cloud as well, where so you can store your models and everything inside the cloud, and then you can just access it from any device. Is that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So this is a big point also for schools, because I don't know in the world, but in France, installing the software on the network of the school is a pretty long process because they don't deal with this themselves. There's it's original, so it takes months for software to be installed. So we wanted it to be online. So from the web browser, from the tablet, but you can also install it directly from Microsoft Store or directly to the PC. That's something that we want to implement for other software. So the first one we talked about Optimised for the PLC. We are trying to make an online version also. So there's a really good feedback about that.
Yeah, and obviously it makes it a lot easier, like, to access. And what I loved about it was the challenge, like creation. So obviously, if I was a teacher and I had like a group of kids, then I could give each of them a challenge. Is that right? I can build in challenge that they would have to do, that they would have to code.
Yeah.
And then is that depending on the robot that I've selected for them? I suppose you know this is your challenge for this robot. And then can I set them another challenge for a different robot? Is that how it works? Or
yeah, basically you build scenes and that's the teacher that implement the robot. They can be, for example, you create a parkour, you add a specific robot, you can give this scene to the students. And after that, maybe I want to use the same parkour. So as a teacher, I just change the robot and it's good to go. Something that could be possible also that we didn't do for now, but they maybe is that dispose some robots at the start line and let the students. Sorry, I'm cutting out. I think let the student choose which robot you want to program. That's also a possibility. And basically, you create a scene with the robot. So we have predefined challenges for each robot. Sometimes, that's the same parkour. For example, for the MBot and the TMU, I think it's the same parkour. So the follow the line challenge, pretty simple. But after that, we really go on to create the editor and show the teacher how to modify the difficulty, for example, to add an obstacle in the middle of the line, put a section without the line on the ground, So that can be really easy. So that's the first step. I teach them. So I do also for some trainings with the teacher. And that's the first thing I show them. So after that, I show them how to create their own. So basically, you have all the tools, like I said, to modelize the scene. But also, what you want to do with a challenge is have a scenario. So you have to go to first gate, second gate, etc.
Yeah.
So this is something that you can code also directly from this editor. This is in Scratch or Python. So this is really easy for them. And as I explain them how to modify, they can start from an already built-in challenge and modify it to their needs. And after they're used to the software, they can start building their own. This is for the teacher. This is good. You can also give these tools to the students, but we don't recommend it for the start. And so in this tech, we also introduce some tools for the children to use. But these pop-ups, for example, that can appear to tell them what they have to do. I will link you the video also. But basically, you start a scene. It will tell, you have to start coding the robot. Next, it will say you have to connect this block to the other one. Really start progressively. And not give a challenge like this and program you're trying to do something and not just give the tools and let's say work this by yourself. We are trying to really introduce everyone, teacher and students, to the tools of Miranda.
So you got that connection there, yeah. Okay, no, sounds good. I mean, I was also looking at sort of the different packages that you had. Could you give us a run through? So I think you had, it was a mixture. You had sort of the number of users, but then you had sort of a bronze, silver, and gold thing going on. What was?
Yeah.
Just a little bit more about that.
So basically, we have 4 versions. So the first one is for households, so just one user.
Okay.
So with all the functionality inside there. And the 3 others are for schools. So you have unlimited number of users, and also you can follow the progression of them. Basically, with these 3 versions, it's what functionality you have access to. So sometimes teachers don't want to have all the functionality; they don't need them. So, for example, you have the premium version. It's pretty much the same as the personal version. You have access to everything. So for schools. The standard version is the same thing without the robot editor. So you only work with what you have in the library. So you have 10 or 15 robots that you can use, and you can create your scenes. And just below that is the one robot edition. So you choose between the robots we have. So for example, you want the mbot, you just have the mbot, and you can create your scene with it.
Right.
So this is the difference.
So the difference is there, yeah. Okay. I mean, so just changing gears or so. So what's the sort of the bigger picture for like you guys? I mean, is it basically to get on more and more robots, and then just have build more of a community where teachers and everyone can interact? I mean, like what's the sort of the next steps and sort of big vision?
So for now, we just launched a store. So the user can share their creations. Before we tried to do a forum, but it doesn't work well. People didn't seem to post very much. We had some teachers that really create a lot of change, a lot of interesting challenge, but it doesn't took very well. So we are trying to, with this store to hopefully change that. So ourselves, we are creating robot and also the accessories, for example, tiles that's used in the challenges of competition robotics that are in real. We are incorporating it to the store for free. So all the things we incorporate ourselves, we put it for free. But as a teacher or as a user, you can put a price on it if you want it. So for now, everything is free on the store, so you can download and it will be added automatically to your account. And so this is what we are really trying to do, is build a community around this, because we know we saw it in the database that there's a lot of creations. We are really gaining some population every day. We see the number of connection is growing. So we know there's some creations, and the big point is to share with this software, I think, and not be on your side. That's really where we are trying to create with this. And of course, we are also all the time trying to get in other countries. So trying to find some resellers. Basically, we work like this. We are rarely contacting client directly. We only seek resellers in the world. For France, we are also trying to seek them directly, because we have an agenda. No, not that what I'm thinking. A list of contact, and the schools, because of our other software, we have a lot of the schools that we know, and they know our company. But for the world, we are going through resellers to do that. And basically, the functionality we had is basically what the reseller think what will be the best for their country. So we all the world beneficient from it. So for example, there's for the challenges, you can do a multiplayer part. So put several students on the same parkour with several robots, maybe. This is something that come from an idea from China, for example.
Okay. So it sounds like you expanded out quite well. So obviously, if you've got artists, people from China, people from America, and obviously France as well, and around Europe. So yeah, I mean, so that sounds like you got some good growth plans there, really. And there's a path, to sort of grow and build that bigger community. Okay, everyone. So do you deal with like industrial robots and stuff like that, or
not directly in Miranda, based on other software? So the virtual commissioning one that's called Virtual US Pro, so that we can link to PLC and import 3D, etc. So what we can do with this software is that we can import from a library, basically robot from diverse manufacturer. So for example, ABB, Fanuc, Mitsubishi, KUKA, etc. And what it's able to is that it will, in real time, copy the movements from the simulating software of the robot. So that can be useful if you're trying to see how the robots will interact with the other machines of your line, for example. So if you have a PLC, you can't really see what's going on, if it's a robot starting the cycle at the right time and what will be happen next. So that's a really good tool for this. So as we know that robots software, you can simulate your robots, but you don't really see what's going on after that. You can incorporate 3D, but now we can see what's going on with the whole line, and you have a bigger view of your system.
And then, so does the Miranda software link in with the older PLC software that you guys use? Is there a link between them so you can use both of them like together?
Yeah, you can use them together. This is primarily so you don't usually do that, but if sometimes you want to use the program that you made inside the Optimised, so before sending it to the PLC, you can use this program to pilot your main twin or digital twin. But what we picked from this old software is that we used all the drivers. So the digital twins can directly connect to the PLC or the simulated PLC also. So with IP, with OPC, everything you want. So it's really easy on that side. So this is why sometimes in the industry, most of the time they don't take Optimised, the old software. They just take the virtual commissioning one because it do what they need.
Okay, no, that's good to understand. Yeah, I mean, I think for next steps, I mean, I think that's quite a good overview, actually. You've shown us the history of the business and where you've come from and all those bits. So That's really good. I mean, if someone wants to get in contact with you, then what's the best way to do that?
So for the best way is to contact us either on our website for Miranda, that's miranda.software,
Okay.
or it's for the company all around, it's irai.com. So we will be redirected to the iraifrance.com site. That's normal. It's our main website. So maybe that's why you didn't see our other products, because we made a separate site because it's for different industry. So the first one is more on the industry, and Miranda is purely for the robotics.
The robotics side, right? Okay, yeah. Like I'll have to go and check that out to see the differences. But on the Miranda side, yeah. I mean, obviously on the robotics side, which is what we're keen on. I mean, that's a great overview. And yeah, I mean, yeah, guys. If you have any questions for like Miranda or like Laurent, then please feel free to send them over. And yeah, no, that was a great interview, like Laurent, and like really like appreciate your time. So thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.